Hello everybody, Brad Johnson here, and in this video I'm going to be bringing in Adronis, and Adronis is going to be discussing the topic through our New Earth Teachings Q&A regarding working in the astral realm during sleep. So I will go ahead now and take a moment to tune in to Adronis, and he can share insight on this topic. Just a reminder for everybody to subscribe to the channel. Click on that little bell icon and be informed when the newest videos are up on my YouTube channel for you to view. So I'll go ahead now and bring Adronis in, and we'll begin. We are here. At this time, we bid you greetings, and thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction today. I am Adronis of Sirius, sending love, appreciation, and gratitude to all who are tuning in to this broadcast through your internet collective consciousness. We shall speak on the idea today of what you would know as tuning in to the astral realm and the work that is being accomplished during your sleep state. Now, there are those of you who that when you, as you would say, retire for the evening, go into your bed and drift off to sleep, and maybe you have a sound 7 or 8 hours of sleep, and you wake up, but you feel that as soon as you wake up, you sense that you are still quite fatigued. You are still quite exhausted. Well, yes, this can play certain degrees of happenings within the physical body. There can be certain forms of sluggishness within the physical body that can cause certain degrees of this. But there is also another portion. And this portion relates to the idea of the work being done while you are in dream time, while you are in sleep. What you are doing during dream time is, in an analogy, sewing yourself together. Adronis, what do you mean? When you go into these other realities, into these other dimensions, into these other plateaus of existence, during your dream time, you are not indulging in some type of quote-unquote fantasy adventure. It is not meaningless. For if you actually had a great clarity with yourself where you are truly at peace with all that is, you would notice that you would not dream at all. You would not have any dreams, you would not have any visions, you would simply be. But many of you, when you dream, you go into these different realms, realities, plateaus, and you experience other versions of yourself that are coming together. You are stitching them together. You are sewing them together. You are initiating the amalgamation effect, as we've talked about before. You are bringing these attributes, these characteristics, these degrees of yourself into harmony. Now, not a lot of you succeed because you go into these different states, going into these different realms of consciousness, and behaving as another type of personality. You may find that who you are in the dream time, you may be more aggressive. You may be more frantic. You may be more fearful. You may be more anxious. All you're doing is going into the greater depths of your soul and encountering these different dimensional imprints of yourself to bringing them into harmony. As we stated, some of you do not, because the fear that you experience in the dream is too great. The anger that you experience in the dream is too great. And you are in a trance relating to being that specific personality. You may see yourself in your own physical human body, or you may see yourself in another body, seeing another characteristic of yourself. And that if there is no harmony that is being brought forward into the dream space, relating to this other dimension that you are experiencing, and that you get lost in the state of confusion pertaining to these emotions, the anger, the fear, the sadness, etc., and you wake up and you feel disappointed in that way, Not because you are wakening up into this reality, but you feel you have left something unresolved. But do not fear, because there will be another version of what you have experienced at an appropriate cycle of time. So if you feel very angry or very jealous in the dream, well, then another cycle will come along that will still represent those characteristics. You are tuning into another reality, tuning into another dimension that is showcasing yourself as this personality, because it is a ripe alignment for you to look into that reality, snap out of the trance pertaining to the characteristics of that being, and bring it into peace. Now, when this happens, because we understand that many of you experience this, that when you go into the dream time, and you notice that you do experience conflict in the dream, but you are able to bring it into harmony. There is an elevation moment that takes place. There is a heightening. And you will actually wake up feeling astonished, feeling a great sense of release, feeling liberated, feeling heightened. And this is very much the result of how you start your day. Because if you leave your dream world where there is a disarray pertaining to emotions, that is going to reflect upon your day when you wake up, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening of that day. Because something has been left unresolved. Something within yourself as you go into the depths of your soul and are transforming these encounters, these experiences, these other realities and dimensions of yourself. If they are left unresolved, you will feel sluggish. You will feel burnt out. You will feel in disarray. But if you are able to resolve them, you will feel the opposite. You will feel liberated. You will feel heightened. You will feel a great bliss upon yourself. Now, do not be alarmed that when you wake up and you felt that you were not able to achieve that there's nothing you can do. Of course there is. This is where, again, dream interpretation comes in. Because you may have a notebook, you may decide to record, document what you were able to experience. Some may say, well, Adronis, I don't quite remember what I dreamt about, but I knew it was a very, very horrible feeling. Well, then you want to just go into what that horrible feeling feels like. You may not be able to put your finger on it, pertaining to an image or a vision in that way, but you just have that horrible feeling. Keep it there. And just let it expand as much as you feel you can. And this is where the BCR technique comes into play. Whereas you're looking at that, and as you're doing the BCR technique and you're starting to breathe, you're moving into calmness, and you're bringing positive reinforcement, because there may have been another dream the night before, or the night before that, or the night before that, or the night before that, where you felt really, really amazing. Channel that in, even into your physical awoken life. Something very positive happening to you. Channel that in. Bring in all of that love energy. And now you have a gigantic mountain full of love. And again, you are releasing that feeling that senses a horribleness within your very soul. You are releasing that. As you do that, you start to feel better. Because now you are able to accomplish in the awoken state what you are not able to achieve in the dream time state. This can be carried over, you see. Because it's the feeling that matters. It's the emotion that matters. It is the trauma that matters. It's not the interface when it comes to the dream time, because that dream is only showing you what is caught up in the web relating to the depths of your soul. It's like a fly stuck inside a spider's web. And when you're sleeping, you go through an experience relating to that fly stuck inside the spider's web. But it is that feeling that you're able to recognize. You cannot put your finger on the scenario. You may not be able to remember it, and you don't have to. It's the feeling. Therefore, you see that fly stuck in the spider's web. You bring the love forward, and now you see that fly getting uncaught from the web, going free, liberating himself or herself. That's all you have to do. And this is what you have been doing ever since you've been born onto this planet. Ever since you were a little infant, having these dreams. Very different in that way. But nonetheless, you've been having these dreams. This is why you go into the dream state. It's your connection to the depth of your soul. It's what the dreams are. Again, many of you still mistake them as some type of fantasy adventure. Even though you may dream of something like that, it still has an emotion assigned to it. That's why you dream. It's your own higher self taking you on a tour into this deeper web of your soul, showing you what is contained inside the soul. You may see a lot of positive transformations within the web, because that is an encouragement that aligns together with an appropriate cycle of yourself. And you will see the dark portions relating to your own depth of soul and that web. Seeing other facets of anger, hostility, sadness, fear. All of that is there to basically clean out your soul in the degree so that you do not have to dream anymore. That's the idea. You only dream to resolve and to realize. That's the entire purpose of dreaming. It's to look into the meanings that you have put into the tapestry of your own soul. And this is the work that you're doing during dream time. You're going into that web. You're seeing what flies are caught into that web. You're seeing the holes that may be caught within that spider's web as well. That is in that sense causing leaks. And again, you work with the dream time. You work with your awoken time. And you repair that cosmic web. Because with this cosmic web, representing that of your soul, it is not attempting to catch a fly so that a spider can eat it. The fly simply gets caught in the web because this relates to the idea of a trapped emotion, a trapped trauma. The idea of the dream is that it actually functions as a mechanism to assist in alleviating the degrees of harshness representing the soul. And that through dreams, there will be, again, as you would say, positive reinforcing dreams that help to reinforce the web, that reinforce your connection to the divine, that heighten you. And there are dreams that may appear nightmarish, that seem very hostile, seem very uncomfortable, very unpleasant to be there. But nonetheless, it's being shown to you because your higher self doesn't lie to you. It shows you everything. And it's going to continue to show you that web of the soul until it's polished, until it's clean. And so for as long as that takes, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, that degree of the soul, that web of depth representing you, is going to be shown until the web is completely intact and there are no flies caught into the web, because those flies just represent emotions. And as those emotions are freed from the web, that shows that you are liberating yourself from those emotions, from those harshnesses, from those traumas, from those illusions. This is why you dream. It's the only reason. It's to purify your soul. It's a messenger telling you this is caught up in your web. You need to rectify that. And we will heighten you, because this is the appropriate time and appropriate cycle, to heighten you to help repair that web, to bringing you into a higher frequency of vibration. And we will show you this darker portion of yourself so that you realize exactly what's trapped inside the web. You're looking at it from many different angles. We would estimate that many of you actually have many hundreds of dreams per night, but you just don't remember it. And you are not conscientious of it. because you're very highly emotional, you're only looking at a certain dream that may stand out, maybe 2 or 3 within your overnight sleep. But really, you're going through thousands of different realities. It's like a Rolodex. You're shuffling through this and say, oh, here we go. Here's something I need to look at. Here's the experience. Play the dream. Here's the dream. You're in this high-speed train that will not slow down. And it goes faster and faster and faster. And you wish it would stop. You wish it would stop, but it's showing you everything. It's going through tunnels. It's going through waves of water. It's going through different lands. It's going through a skyward track, spiraling around faster and faster and faster. And you're demanding it stop. These can be an example of a very intense dream. It takes you to the edge of your fear because you see all these horrific experiences thinking that you're going to crash. The train is going to crash and it's going to explode, but it keeps going. And you wish it would stop. You wish it would stop. You wish it would stop. Well, that's the idea of you trying to control your own experiences of elevation, experiencing your own spiritual nature, experiencing how fast you are growing, experiencing how fast the world is going, about how quickly time is going, and you want to try and slow everything down. It's the idea of relinquishing control. So an example of a dream like that is just showing you you need to let go of control. You need to trust the process. If you think life is moving too fast and you're trying to control it, you're only going to spiral more out of control because you're not trusting the process of what is attempting to be shown to you. You look at it too much on a dense level. So an example of a dream like that. And saying, Adronis, I felt very, very afraid. I just wanted to try and control to get this train to stop. Well, that's what you need to work on. You need to work on the idea of alleviating control. Because if you try to control everything, then this is going to lead to the idea where everything you feel is important to you is passing you by. That you feel that the world has spiraled into chaos. And so you go through the dream time and you look at that. And it really comes down into the simplicity. How does the feeling impact you? What is the feeling at play? You see, it does not matter the prettiness of the dream. Whether you're going through different lights, whether you're moving into different worlds, whether you're able to teleport, materialize your body into a completely different form, that doesn't matter. That is all, as you would say, eye candy. Those are window dressings, as it were. That's not important because many of you still focus so much on the importance of the visualization of the dream. You look at the 5 senses pertaining to the dream. And that's no more different than you looking at the 5 senses of this physical reality without looking at the heart of it. You understand the dream when you look at the heart of the feeling. Just like you understand what you're going through when you work with your feelings, when you work with your emotions. That's what stands out. That's what you need to look at. It's just a language, is what the dream is. It's the language of your soul. It is a language of the higher self, telling you, this is what you're experiencing. You need to look into this. If you want to advance yourself further, if you want to heighten yourself, bring yourself into a greater state of liberation, of freedom, you need to look at this. And so again, this becomes the proverbial roller coaster that many of you may experience each and every single night, where you wake up in the morning and you feel exhausted again. It's because you are doing a lot of work, yes, in dream time, looking into the tapestry of your soul, looking into that soul web, looking into the type of flies caught up in the web, looking into where there is breaking of the web and working to repair it in certain levels of heightening of yourself. That's what you're doing. As we stated, when you move yourself into a harmonized state of being, you will dream less. When you are simply being and you are actually consciously sleeping, it is very unlikely that you'll dream at all because you are simply in stillness. So dreams exist as a language. They are a mechanism, a communication from your soul directly to the conscious self. This is what you have to clean up. This is what needs to be cleared. This is what needs to be set loose. This is what needs to be rectified. That is the language of dreams, speaking to you while you're asleep, waking up in the morning, and based upon what you have been able to resolve, will set your degree, your flow, your momentum for your awoken day. Thank you very much for checking out the New Earth Teachings YouTube channel. Feel free to check out my websites, newearthteachings.com, healingcodecards.com, healingcodeshop.com. Go on to healingcodecards.com to grab your body deck and your mind deck, also available in digital versions as well. And of course, you can follow me on social media, on Facebook, on MeWe, and of course on Telegram as well. Thank you again for tuning in, and I'll speak to you again in the next video. Take care and show the way.